I would like to welcome all to this hall of stain, where we salute who stood tall, whether blood or cuss. Boosts closed out the mall, drug dealers are fiends, strippers and hood entrepreneurs. We them ghetto stars. I know generals with scars. They gon' tell us about their life and try to guide you through yours. Hey, Scoonie on the beat, soldiers smooth hit record. Where we live by the gun, try not to die by the sword. We them ghetto stars.
We them ghetto stars.
Yeah, welcome back to GhettoStarzPodcast. I'm your host, Breeze Berserk. And today I have a very special guest called all the way from Oregon. My big brother, my big homie, Mr. LayGee. What's going on, big brother?
Salutations, my G, man. How you, man?
I'm all right, big brother. How you feeling, man? I'm glad to get you on the phone. It's been a long time coming, man. How you holding up?
I'm maintaining, man. I'm blessed, man. I can't complain. You heard? I'm still LayGee, you know what I mean?
As you should be, my brother. Please tell the people, where were you born? Where you hail from?
Oh, man, you know, I was born in Beth Israel in New Jersey, you know what I mean? But you know my domain and shit is Sussex Ave, little city, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I mean, I moved out there like 89 and shit. Like, I got this book coming out, you know what I mean? And it's going to explain a lot that got people, like, people don't know a lot of things and they assume and they think they know, but if you ain't from the foundation or the dirt shit, you don't really know too much about LayGee. I mean, you
That's
just
right.
know what you heard, or you know the haters or the newspapers, or you know the motherfucking the world that paints me in a light that's not me. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, I know exactly what you mean, my brother. I know exactly what you mean. Please tell us where your parents from.
Oh, you know, mom's is from the South and shit. Like, she's from Georgia, you know what I mean? And my pops is he's from Jersey, you know what I mean?
Okay.
You know, she left the South and came over and met him and shit, you know what I mean? So, you know, that's how all that happened and shit, you know what I mean? But my pop died in like 88, you know what I mean? So
man.
I was a child, and you know, it always just been me and mom.
Right. I'm sorry to hear that, man.
I didn't have no male figures. I didn't have no little brothers, no sisters. I ain't had none of that. It just was me and mom's, and she raised me, you know what I mean?
Wow. So you came up in East Orange, New Jersey?
No, you know, we lived all around Newark and shit, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't move into East Orange and shit until I think like 89, 90 and shit, you know what I mean? But before that, like, we done lived all on High Street, you know, moms, we lived off of 9th Ave on 14th.
That's where I stayed too.
You know, like we done lived around North, I mean, but when she sat down, it was right there in 89 and shit, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. So no siblings at all, no brothers, no sisters. So basically, the fellas that you built bonds with in the street became your siblings.
Oh yeah, because you know, like I said, it was no brothers and no sisters and shit. So it was like, you know, I had to fend for self, like in the street and shit. I mean, like growing up and shit, like, you know, because mom's she been working all her life since I know, and you know, I'm the only child, so you know, mom's always kept me like, you know, she kept me up to par, like when it came to clothes and shit like that. Like I was more privileged when it came to certain things and shit. So, you know, a lot of individuals envy shit like that. And I mean, like,
of course.
And it was just me. So it was like growing up, I had a lot of fights, and you know, I was getting jumped and I was getting chased home from school. All types of crazy shit, you know what I mean?
Right. Just off the hate, because a lot of parents don't understand, a lot of people don't understand that most kids, when they go to school and they upset, they angry because they don't have any love at home. So when the kids that get love at home and their parents is making sure that they fresh, or that they tell them, hey, I love you, I care about you, you know, you can do this, you can do that. Those are the happy kids that just go to school and try to do their thing. Meanwhile, they got to defend themselves from the unhappy kids who have
No
to,
doubt.
you know, go through all that dramatic shit. I mean, you know, the crazy stuff at home that, you know, that they can't talk about. So I was definitely, you know, I feel your pain on that, because I was one of those kids too that, you know, people just hated on because my moms decided to do what was right by me, you know?
Yeah, no doubt.
Word.
Definitely and shit, I mean, but, you know, growing up and shit, it's kind of like, because, I also grew up over there off the, in the Hooterville area and shit, I mean, because my grandmother stayed over there, so I had mad cousins over there and shit.
So the Hooterville area, explain to the people what area is that?
That's, my grandmother lived on Pond Grove, so that's right between Alexander and West End and shit.
So that's North New Jersey for those that don't know. That's the same section that Red Man always shout out. Big up to Red.
Yeah. He was from all the way up South New Jersey, but right there in that area and shit, it's like, I spent a lot of time over there because Mom's worked a lot, so
no doubt.
You know, she took me over there, and I had to be over there, but I didn't like it over there. I mean,
right? Yeah, it was rough over there for sure.
Yeah, so you know, because that ain't where I was from. I'm not from over here.
Right.
And it's like, you know, when I went over there, all my cousins, it was a lot of cousins in the house and shit, and I just was out of place and shit. I mean, like,
yeah.
I was the oddball out. Like, even my family over there, my grandmoms and everybody over there, they looked at me a different type of way because moms, you know, what moms used to do for me. I was fortunate to have things, you know what I mean?
That's right. I know exactly what you mean, my brother. Trust and believe that. So, what school did you end up going to in the beginning when y'all first settled from North?
I went to Louise A. Spencer for my second. Then I went to Martin Luther King on A Street. And then from Martin Luther King, that's when we moved that and shit on East Orange. And I went to Lincoln. You know, I went to all of the East Orange schools, then Lincoln, BLD, East Orange High, and all that type shit. You know what I mean?
Right. So
you know.
So let's just say that's the beginning of you recognizing yourself, and I guess the change of yourself, right? Around that time, things started looking different in the streets.
Yeah, like shit started, you know, because even though like moms did what she can do for me and she kept me up to par, I'm still a product of my environment, I mean.
Facts.
I didn't grow up in no motherfucking suburbs. Just because my household was up, my foundation was solid. It's always been solid. I mean, that's why I'm solid. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Because of my foundation. And, you know, as I started going through the school system and shit like that, I started getting into a lot of little trouble, like all the way from Lincoln. Like, I think I got put on probation in Lincoln and shit. And I was like 11 years old, some shit like that. Like, I caught a little temper tantrum and ripped the chalkboard down and shit. Called the police on me and shit, you know what I mean?
Oh, snap, that's grimy.
So I was on probation way back when. Like, I was looking at my papers the other day. I'm like, that's foul. Like, I put a little kid, nigga, 11 years old on probation type shit, you know what I mean?
Right, that's fucked up.
And it's like, from there on out, it's like the nigga was trapped within the system, because I think I was on probation from there all the way until whenever. Like, I never got on probation.
Damn, man. So let's just say that they started your deal into that life, man.
Definitely.
Crazy.
I didn't make it no better though, neither, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cause I was a little nigga in the street running around and shit, following motherfuckers and shit, you know what I mean? When I should have knew that, you know, these niggas weren't authentic, but you don't learn that until you get of age and shit.
True.
But a lot of niggas is fugazi, you know what I mean?
No
a lot of
doubt.
Niggas I grew up with, them niggas is straight butt cheeks, you know what I mean? Niggas is it's not real right. They just running around. And they still out there you know what I mean? The niggas know who they is and shit. I ain't locked up for telling on nobody. You know?
Right.
Niggas know who they be, you know what I mean?
Right, that shit is wild, man. Like, yo, you was one of the brothers that was coming up, man. Like, I had a older brother, but he ain't had no time for me. So I always looked at you and a few other guys as my big brothers in the streets. You know what I'm saying? And y'all did y'all thing, man. You know, I remember watching you, and I was like, damn, son, how you know what I mean? How you do this shit? Like, but I just wanted to know what made you.
I guess that come from, you know, because right now how niggas got this shit watered down. Niggas fuck shit up, you know what I mean? Like, with their own self-intentions and shit like this. But in the beginning of this shit, it wasn't like this, nigga. We was a family, like,
right.
This was a brotherhood and a sisterhood. Like, we had 50 old people and shit coming, trying to join and be with us, like, because they just was feeling the love, like, that we produced and shit, how we took care of ours, you know what I mean?
Right. So let me ask you this. How old were you when you started noticing gang banging in New Jersey? Because I know you got into the criminal lifestyle about 11 years old from that probation thing. But how old were you when you realized that gangs were starting to, you know, take over New Jersey?
I'm saying, you know, it's like I went down Jamesburg, and when I came home from Jamesburg and shit, it's like it was just like it was a whole flip, but it wasn't that many bloods. It was only a handful. It was probably like 2, 3, 4 handfuls, and when you put us all together, it was probably only like 20 bloods in Essex County alone. You feel me? Like, that's all it was and shit. I mean, and we all ran together. We all was with each other.
Right.
I mean, and motherfucking, it was always love. It wasn't never no, you know, like, oh, I'm under this set, or I'm this.
Right.
I'm such and such under this. Nah, like, you know what I mean? Niggas called, niggas was there. Now, I mean, we all stuck together because we had to at the point, because it wasn't no strength. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, you know, a lot of motherfuckers used to look at us like, oh, y'all niggas think y'all from Cali or some shit like that. Like, nah, nigga, we ain't from no motherfucking Cali and shit. We from right here where we from.
Right.
The same niggas, you know, later on down the line, them niggas turned bloods. And I was looking at them like, damn, nigga, you was just looking down on us.
Right.
Years back and shit, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, you know, like, it all started like when I came over from Jamesburg, and that shit was like 97, 98. Like, matter of fact, it was like 98, bro. Right. Yeah, it was like 98.
So you started seeing.
It was already who they was and shit. Like,
so do you remember? Do you remember what sets was around when you when it started brewing in New Jersey?
Oh, you had the SWMs. It was a couple of them and shit down on high. You know what I mean? Then you had the double I's and shit. You know, they always been around. They was around back then. Actually, they was actually the first blood hood out there.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But they weren't cooking up no dust.
Right.
We remember because we used to have little wars with them and shit. I mean, they're my brothers. Like, the original niggas, they're my brothers. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
And we remember they used to run around with the red flags and shit. This was East Orange High. They had all that shit. We never knew what that shit was. You know what I mean? Until we turned bloods, and then it all made sense. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, so it was the other shit. You know what I mean? It wasn't actually. That's all. And then see, you know, when y'all get my book and shit, man, y'all gonna see what I'm talking about. Like, it wasn't no rules and all. It wasn't none of that then. I mean, right. It wasn't none of that. They came, and when they came and they made a staple point, and they gave ultimatums, and that's how they got so strong. Remaining.
Oh shit.
They got some. Hey yo, what I'm gonna do is I'm about to call right back and shit, and cut the 10 part, and then we just add whatever I say on the tiller. You heard? Yeah, son.
Alright, so let's pick up where we left off at. Yeah, they basically, when we get the book, we're gonna hear about what happened in the beginning, as far as, you know, what sets was around when we first started.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, it wasn't rules and hats. They came later on down the line and shit, you know what I mean? They got embraced, you know what I mean? But when you get the book, you'll see how, you know, they came and the ultimatums they made, and it's a lot of niggas that was running around that was once some form of under East Coast hood, and them niggas all switched, you know what I mean?
Oh, shit. The niggas ain't staying firm in what they believed in.
Yeah, them niggas all switched and shit. It was like an ultimatum, like, yo, either y'all do this or it ain't this. You smell me?
Oh,
and
shit.
A lot of niggas from North, East Orange, a lot of niggas and shit. A lot of niggas jump shit, I mean, and that's how, you know, they became who they was.
Damn. I see that part I didn't even know, man. I ain't have no clue about that. But I know ours stayed firm for the most part.
No doubt, definitely.
Whoever didn't stay was never meant to be one of us, man. That's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? So where were you, and like what made you decide that you wanted to join?
I'm saying, you know, I'm from a little city, so when I got out and shit, like, you know, niggas that this has always been my family, so this what they was, you know what I mean?
Right.
And my whole thing was, I just got out and shit from doing 18 months and shit, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
my whole thing is I'm about to get a job and shit, you know what I mean? I'm about to do the right thing and shit. Like, I had just turned like 17, 18, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm like, I'm about to do the right thing and shit. My mom's and shit. And before that night and shit, I was in the building and shit with a flag on my motherfucking head, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So yeah, that's how that happened.
Oh man, yeah. I guess it's just the attraction of the hood, man. It's a domino effect.
That's all the shit. It was. This is where I'm from, you know what I mean?
Right.
So
people don't understand that.
Like that.
They don't understand that, you know, if our hood was a Crip hood, then we probably would have been cripping it, you know what I'm saying? But it just so happens that.
Hey, but you know what? Like even like with that and shit, like, you know, that shit been around too. Like, them niggas was down higher court in them courts, like back in the early 90s. You heard, like, they been around. Like, I was down Jamesboro with one of them niggas and shit, I mean, and you know, Crips been around. Crips been in Jersey for a long time.
Yeah.
And like, even in the projects and shit, like, you know, individual that was a Crip had moved out there way back when, but we was always dogs, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
We weren't smelling that, like, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
Even though I liked it, the color blue growing up and shit.
Yeah, me
but
too.
We was dogs, though, like,
right.
that vibe that they was, you know, giving at the time, we weren't smelling none of that, you know what I mean?
Right. We was designed for something different.
Yeah, definitely.
No disrespect to the Keyways, but you know, you born to be who you be, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day.
And it's a lot of them and shit, them older, the original dudes and shit, I rocks with, and they know who they is and shit, and I fucks with them and they fuck with me. We got history, you know what I mean? So,
right. Shout out to them.
Yeah, no doubt and shit, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. So, these the questions that I really hate to ask you, but I always wanted to ask you, man. Now, we have, you know, we fast forward through all that juicy stuff, because they're going to get that in the book. But I really wanted to know, man, the night of Brokers, take us back to that, man. What can you talk about that? What happened? Or, you know,
I'm saying, you know, it's like this and shit, man. Wrong place, wrong time.
Right.
Wrong niggas.
Right.
A lot of narcotics.
Right.
And shit, you know what I mean? A lot of guns.
Right.
You know what I mean? Niggas was wild. Niggas was running around wild and shit. And, you know, certain things that I regret. And I don't regret a lot of shit that I did.
Right.
But certain things I do regret. You know what I mean?
I understand.
And I regret embracing individuals that wasn't like me. You feel me? Like,
right.
we embraced a lot of individuals and they wasn't like us, know what I mean?
Right.
And that's when the spiral started happening, you know, as far as, you know, niggas started running around doing a whole bunch of wild shit that was out of character, know what I mean? Like, we got money, like,
right.
We did. We got money and shit, know what I mean? And if any form of violence came towards us, we handled that shit like. But it got to the point where we was the ones going out,
looking for it.
Looking for it, know what I mean?
Right.
That wasn't us. That wasn't us, and I believe that's what started it, because we started rocking with a whole bunch of individuals that, you know, they didn't have them same, you know, family orientated.
Right.
And shit that we had, like,
right.
You know what I mean? It was dog eat dog.
Right. They wanted to
so
see
like,
destruction.
Yeah, like the structure, you know, niggas, they didn't infiltrate to the point where, you know, they came in and brought the house down, but they infiltrated to point where they had us out doing shit that we don't normally do. No?
Right, absolutely. So can you honestly say up here and say that the, you know, narcotics had a lot to do with those bad decisions?
I would say, yeah, because, you know, even though we used to say that, you know, like, we get money and shit, like, yo, we on narcotics, but the narcotics ain't we using the narcotics. That shit ain't using us.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Now, it was some truth in that, but anything dealing with narcotics is always, it's nothing good coming out of that. I mean, because you're not thinking rationally, and it's like the narcotics took away emotions and shit.
Right.
So it takes away, you know, from you the compassion of another person's, you know, well-being and shit like that. I mean,
true indeed.
So it played a part. It played a part in shit, you know what I mean? But I just feel like, you know, it was individuals around us and shit that wasn't really like that. And them niggas was trying to impress. So, you know, when another nigga trying to impress another man and shit, now for one, that shit gay anyway, but,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Motherfucking niggas was just doing wild shit when this ain't really you. This ain't what you do, but you doing it though, when you wilding, like, to have a name, you smell me?
Right.
And, you know, that shit played a big part with a lot of niggas and shit, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of niggas running around, man.
Could you say exactly what narcotics that those were? Because I remember you had a rule at one time when you know, enforced that shit thoroughly, imperatively through the hood, that no guys, none of the comrades was to be caught smoking a certain particular drug, especially. Can you tell the people what that is? They not hip to it. Wet.
Niggas was wet. You smell me? Like,
break that down for the people that don't know what you mean when you say they was wet.
I'm saying niggas used to, you know, I was never a dip cigarette type of nigga. I ain't like how that shit had a nigga mentally. That shit used to take a nigga, but niggas around. That's what niggas were smoking. I was more of a gang type of nigga, like that abominant fluid sprayed on the motherfucking, on the weed, and then I roll it up and smoke it. You know what I mean? And run around off that. I wasn't never, we did the little ecstasy, but pills, none of that shit it played a factor within our circle, because we didn't rock like that. It was all wet. Niggas was wet. You know what I mean?
Damn.
So that takes away from your emotions. That drug of choice right there, it takes away from your emotions. And, you know, at one time I had sat back and I seen that the hood was fucked up off of this shit.
Right.
So that's why I came and made the decision that you could no longer smoke wet in the hood. Like, it was obsolete.
Right.
I mean,
right.
but I don't know if that shit stuck or it hold because, you know, like I said, niggas was going to jail, going to the county, getting back out of jail. I know when I got out, I really didn't care too much about narcotics. Like,
right.
that shit wasn't a factor within my life because I didn't care about it. I knew how the pills had me. I didn't like that shit. I never was a pill head.
Right.
I couldn't really drink. I was never a real drinker, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I was wet, though, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
motherfuckers didn't even know I was wet. You had motherfuckers that be like, yo, we didn't even know y'all niggas was wet. That's because we put that out there that we did the drugs didn't do us, you know what I mean?
True indeed. True indeed. So your first experience smoking wet, who were you with, if you don't mind naming them, and what was the effect that it had on you?
I'm saying, you know, individual on shit that was once somebody I looked up to. He was my big bro, you know what I mean? And I had unfounded love for the nigga and shit, you know what I mean? He was doing it. So, he was doing it and shit, and we couldn't do it. We was young.
Right.
So, we seen him wet. Like, he used to smoke, and we looked up to him. You smell me? Like, you know, niggas from Little City know who this nigga is and shit, man. I don't, you know, want to, you know, blast his handle and shit, but
no
he know who he is and shit, like, know what I mean?
No doubt.
But, you know, niggas was young. But as, you know, niggas got older, it was too late. You start seeing niggas for who they are, and you like, oh, like, I used to hold you up like that, my nigga, like, nah, you ain't like me, you know what I mean?
Right,
so,
right.
Like, everything that we did, that shit was, it was for nothing. Like, a nigga felt like, yo, we did all that we did for this individual, and it was for nothing because he's nothing like we are, you know what I mean?
Right. He had a false image about him that we thought was authentic, but it wasn't. It was a dream.
Yeah, we was young, we was kids and shit, you know what I mean? And, you know, niggas got money. Niggas, you know, kids look up to certain things and shit, you know what I mean?
Word.
Materialistic things and shit. They don't see who the person is and shit at a young age and shit. You find that out as you get older and shit, you know what I mean? Who
No
a
doubt.
motherfucker really is and what his heart like, you know what I mean?
No doubt. Yeah. Now, so when you hit that shit the first time, what did you say to yourself in your mind?
Actually, I don't even remember the first time I smoked.
Oh, snap,
or
yeah.
the feeling that it gave me.
Right.
Like, I know I wasn't really a fan of the cigarettes because I didn't like how it take you mentally and shit somewhere else.
Right.
I never went on a trip, though. I never had a trip, you know what I mean, to where a nigga ran around, ass nigga. I seen niggas do shit like that. Like, yo, that nigga running around and shit, that nigga ass nigga in the Chinese store talking about, let me get a shrimp roll type shit. You smell me? Like, it never took me like that.
Right, you controlled it.
Yeah, like, but I don't remember the first time and shit that I smoked. I was young. I was probably like 15, 16 years old, I mean?
Yeah, no doubt, absolutely, man. So, is there any brothers and sisters that you could shout out that was there with you in the beginning of this career of ours when we first started out?
Oh, definitely. It's bros and shit that was there. A lot of my niggas and shit that, you know, paved the way for this shit. Them niggas are no longer here. You know what I mean? And they gonna forever live through me. That's why, you know, in this book and shit, like,
right.
You know, them niggas was gonna always stay alive and shit. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
From the Shine Heads, from Stratford, him and my nigga Stretch. Like, you know,
B.I.P.
them was niggas from the beginning and shit. You know what I mean? Like, that paved the way for this shit. So, you know, I'ma always respect them niggas and shit. But you know, you got niggas that's still running around and shit, and I don't, you know, like niggas ain't my type of niggas. Like niggas is my brothers, but you know, it's from a distance though. I mean,
right, I understand, man. So
like niggas don't. They don't. I don't know, man. I don't even know how to explain certain niggas
is. I'm gonna explain it for you, man. I believe that niggas is sometimes-ish, you know, and this thing about we gotta be all in or nothing, bro. That's how I feel about it. You know, niggas is with you when you winning, but then when you lose, it's like, oh, you'll be good or whatever. You know, that's the major part about. That's the major downside of being a leader, because people always expect you to be super strong, like you a robot or something. Like, you know, when you know, all we need and all we ask for is somebody to care, my nigga. Like, you know, how you holding up? How's everything with you? Do you need anything? And people don't.
It's like this and shit. Like I said, my foundation has always been solid. Like, my foundation has always started with God. I mean,
absolutely.
Like, that's always been first. I mean,
absolutely.
And then it been moms and shit, and then everything else trickled down after that. And it's like, a nigga can never say no fuck shit about Lay in the street. Like, you know, Lay embraced everybody. I mean, you had niggas running around and shit. You know what I mean? I got love from everybody and shit in the street, you know what I mean?
For sure.
But it's like a lot of individuals and shit, a lot of hate came. Niggas wanted to be, you know what I mean? Like, they didn't earn it, they just wanted it, you know what I mean? So it's like, the streets didn't give them, you know, the love and shit. Like,
that you see.
Gave them what they have, like, yo, you got this. Nah, the streets gave us what we had. Like, no one man say, you this, and I want you to do this and hold this up. Nah, the streets did that shit. I mean,
right. Absolutely.
So, I was good in any hood, nigga. I was jumping out everywhere. Whether it was sunny at, I don't care where it was Damouz at. In the beginning, nigga, when we was here and when it was Damouz, wherever they was at, we was there and we was jumping out, letting it be known who we is, and that's how we started meeting mad different niggas from everywhere. And I mean, a lot of niggas respected that, because I was standing on blocks and in projects and shit where niggas can't even go. Niggas like, oh, this nigga Lay just over here. I seen that nigga out there with them niggas, and it was just me. Like, I didn't have no fear of, you know, who these niggas supposed to be or who they say they are and shit. I mean, and them niggas respected that.
Right. Absolutely, man. Niggas could always smell fear, bro. You step up in anywhere, you know, acting shaky, niggas gonna eat. And who's the scary ass nigga? You stand firm, yo, son solid, I rock with him, you know?
No doubt. You know, a lot of niggas and shit from Little City and shit, you know, niggas hid behind them walls and shit, I mean? And, no, it's not wrong with it, because that's what niggas was from, with Little City, but, you know, niggas was protected by individuals, you know what I mean? Whether they want to say it or not, but because if it wasn't for my era and shit we was doing, a lot of niggas would have been coming through Little City having their way. You know what I mean? Coming through there doing all types of wild shit. I mean, they couldn't do that type of shit because they already know how me and my niggas was coming. I mean,
True indeed. Absolutely, I know what you mean, brother. You know, and as your little brother, I gotta say, I inherited some of that privilege too. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to worry about too much of nothing. Once I said who I was, you know what I mean? They knew to respect it already. You know what I'm saying? I'm 3-4 years younger than you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I came up after y'all, looking up to y'all. So, you know, the things that my big brother didn't do, you know, my big brother, me and him is day and night. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't into the same things that I was into. So, you know, I still love him to death regardless of what. But I always was, you know, before I found y'all, I always just wanted to belong to a bigger family, you know what I'm saying? And have brothers. And
that's what we had.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
That's exactly what we had, a family and shit.
Right, and you still got that, baby. You always know that. As long as I'm alive,
no doubt.
we still got that. You know what I mean? A lot of things has changed since then. We in 2020. I just wanted to know, man, a lot of people was, you know, thinking that they know everything about LayGee. The night of that incident that led to this wild sentence, man. Can you tell the people how much time did they, you know, try to sentence you with? What did they throw at you?
Oh, you know, they threw numbers and shit, know what I mean? But that shit, you know, it didn't hold up. Like,
right.
A lot of motherfuckers, they think they know what's going on with me, or, you know, they just assume. Which is, you know, everybody got an opinion. That shit is like an asshole. Everybody got one of them, I mean?
No doubt. No doubt.
I don't really sit here and dwell on what people say about me and, you know, with my time or whatever and shit, because I already know what's going to transpire.
Absolutely. And you put all trust in God.
Like, yeah, no doubt. And when they doing shit, it's like all those and shit that wasn't there, you ain't gonna be there then. Like, you know what I mean?
We happy for them people. We happy for those kind of people because that makes cutting people off easier.
Yeah, you show your hand and shit. I mean, we playing poker. You show your hand and shit, like, and like I tell niggas, I'm built different, man.
Right.
You know, I was built for what's going on with me and shit. Like my testimony and shit, I was built different than a lot of niggas and shit.
True indeed.
So, you know, a lot of shit that I've been through, you know, the average nigga, they wouldn't. That's why these niggas be telling.
They would have been crumbled already.
Always and shit, because these niggas can't come to jail and they can't go through the shit that, you know, LayGee done been through.
Right. You've been through that, man. It's crazy. It's unfortunate that they sent you out there all the way in Oregon, but the upside to it is you're not getting caught up in everyday bullshit with these assholes down here in Jersey. Shout out to the guys, free the guys.
It don't matter what they sent me. They could have sent me to Iraq and I'd have been good.
No doubt.
It's like, you know, y'all get Con Air, put a nigga on a plane, Con Air a nigga, and send a nigga wherever. You smell me, I'm gonna be good wherever I go because I'm LayGee.
No doubt.
It ain't nothing fugazi about me, like, I mean,
right.
So, you know, motherfuckers, you know, a lot of niggas and shit ran around, and, you know, niggas was running around trying to, you know, tarnish niggas' handles and history, but you can't. You can't erase history. The real niggas, like, real niggas will always prevail. All you do is bury yourself. You gonna kill yourself.
We see it every day. We see it every day. And I was telling you about, you know, what I was going through on my end with the same shit that you seen back then. You know what I mean? Now it's my time and I see it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, niggas is always gonna have something to say. Just keep doing what you do. Keep doing what you do.
That shit gay though. Like,
absolutely.
I don't care what another man gotta say about me and shit.
That's
niggas
a fact.
Don't even know me.
That's a fact, bro.
I be telling niggas I'm your big homie, nigga.
Right.
You big homie about me and shit. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely, man. So the book, what is the book gonna be titled, man?
Oh, you know, it's the Chronicles of a Real Writer shit, man.
Woo.
It's just the thoughts of a real writer.
No doubt.
You know, it's history. It's shit that transpired, you know, within this shit. So it's all my thoughts, and you know, I remember everything. I mean, like,
for sure.
I got a crazy ass memory and shit. Like, my mom's always tell me, like, how the fuck you remember shit like that? You was only like 5.
Yeah.
I just remember certain things. It's just in me, like I can remember. I mean,
absolutely, so, man.
This shit is all authentic. It ain't no fugazi shit. I mean, it ain't no made up shit.
Right.
All this shit is authentic. I mean.
Right. Absolutely, man. Well, let me ask you this as well. Do you have a message for, you know, we stuck being who we be, even if we said we would retire right now, the streets would never forget who we are and the impact that we made. So we'll always be who we be, but What message do you have to the youngsters out there that's coming up nowadays that's trying to get in to what we've been in over 10, 15 years? What could you tell them?
I will have to say, because, you know, niggas got a lot of false, you know, it's mirages and shit. They hold up a picture that's not what the picture really is, you smell me? So it's like, if you choose like this way of life and shit, I mean, like, because it ain't, all this shit ain't bad. Like, you know, they motherfuckers could paint a picture, but that ain't what the picture always is. So just like it's negative shit, it's good shit too, you know what I mean?
Facts.
But what I had to say to them is like, you know, sit back with a clear mind and shit and look at the niggas that you're trying to be involved with and understand that, you know, these individuals might not be them niggas.
Right.
I mean, for that moment, you on narcotics and you don't see what it really is and shit, you know what I mean? So you looking at these niggas, they wild, they running around, they shooting guns and, you know, whatever, niggas getting money, whatever and shit, you know what I mean? You sit back, look at yourself and look at them and wonder, like, because you know down the line, them same niggas ain't gonna be your niggas. You know what I mean? Y'all gonna have some falling out somewhere down the line.
Tell me again.
When they gonna tell on, they gonna be telling on some crazy shit, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, you know, it's like, the youth is the youth. They gonna do what they wanna do and shit, you know what I mean?
Facts of life.
If they don't have no real rights there, you know, to show them how we was back when we had family, like when we was showing niggas what real right really meant and shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It ain't too much of that now. Niggas is just using niggas like pawns and shit. And,
right.
And the narcotics done got more iller, so niggas really ain't mentally stable, you know what I mean?
Right.
Niggas is doing wild shit, and I will do this to you. They quick to say, I shoot. Oh, that nigga's a shooter. That nigga do this. That nigga gonna tell on you too, nigga. That nigga gonna kill everybody in the house, the roaches and everybody. And as soon as they grab his ass, he gonna tell everything.
Damn right. Cause he done came down from that high. He ain't super nigga no more.
Hell no. Niggas gonna be fucking my bitch. Niggas telling me they don't want me bitch shit like that, you know what I mean?
And she was fucking the whole time anyway, so what difference do it make?
Get a house up, not to leave that bitch.
Yo, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. But my brother, I really appreciate your time, man. Sitting, talk with your guy. Any shout outs you want to give before we get up out of here? Because
I'm gonna just get a shout out. I'm gonna just say, man, to all those who work me, man, niggas know who my niggas, man. Like, niggas know who I rock with and shit, I mean, and who, I got love for and shit. And all them other niggas and shit, man, the niggas get die slow, son.
Like that. Say no more, my brother. And another episode, GhettoStarzPodcast, with my big brother LayGee, man.
1 minute remaining.
I love you to death, my brother.
Right. I love you too, my G, man.
Yo.
You already, man. Salutations, man.
Always, brother. All the time. Stay iced out, gangster.